number 302, and it was titled, How to Build a Tracking Routine. If you're brand new, which I know a few of you are, so if you're oh, don't worry, Caroline, you're going to love the new background. But if you're brand new to Weight Watchers, because we will have a lot of brand new Weight Watchers watching this, oh, no, Loretta, he's not upset at all. He thinks, well, that's a whole other thing. Anyway, he thinks he can get so much more money for this location. I'm just telling you, we love it. We love how pretty it is. Yeah, no, not gonna happen. Anyway, so, what was I saying? Anyway, there will be a bunch of brand new Weight Watchers that will be watching this on YouTube, and again, that's just youtube.com, search If You Have an Egg. So this next half, this is for people who it's your first day, or it's your first week, or if you're rejoining. So I decided that today, as the last hurrah before we left, since I wasn't going to get the kitchen dirty, wasn't going to make anything and mess it up, since we're trying to move out starting tomorrow, this week's extra credit is how to start or restart the Weight Watchers program. So I've just got a few things that I want to go over for brand new people. It's that time of year. It's the time of year when there's so many new members, so many returning folks, so many people that are like, all right, we got to get back with this. So many people that have either never done Weight Watchers at all or have never done this version of the Weight Watchers program, and now it's just the Weight Watchers program. So I thought it was time that we would do that it would be a quick, need to do a quick tutorial. And Debbie, you're exactly right, and I'll message you about this later. But whether today is your first day on Weight Watchers, if you're just thinking about joining, or you are back for the 11th or 12th time. I mean, I joined Weight Watchers 6 times before it stuck. Okay, there's no shame in that. Here are my top 5 ways to get off to a successful start. Okay, so my number one way to get off to a successful start with Weight Watchers, we've already done it a couple of times tonight. That's to open the app. Okay, if you don't do anything else this week, so if this is your first week new, and Mary says I needed this one, so if this is your first week brand new, or if this is your first week coming back, if you don't do anything else, I want you to open the app. So this is a powerful tool. It's an extremely powerful tool, but only if you use it. So the Weight Watchers app can only give you power if you open it. Okay, so I didn't say that you need to know everything or even understand everything about the app. There is a lot there. Okay, I'm saying that you just need to open it. So the most important things when you open your app are, I personally think the most important things when you open your app, and again, because the Meebo's not working, we can open it. I think the most important things are, the first one is My Day, and My Day is that little calendar down there at the bottom. So that's the first icon, at the bottom. That's a quick view of how you're doing, where to track if you need to find out where to track something. It's kind of your landing page. So if you get confused, like if you get lost in the app, that's kind of your landing page. So if you'll just touch that, you always go back, there. So you can that can kind of be your landing page. Okay. Then the bullseye is the second one at the bottom. That's this one. And if you touch the bullseye, I'm going to tell you, it's going to be important later. But if this is your first week, if you're brand new, or if you're just returning, I'm going to say skip that one for now. I'm going to say skip the bullseye for now, because I don't want you obsessing over blue dots or getting confused about blue dots or challenges until you're more comfortable with what you're doing. Okay, so for right now, if you're brand new or if you're returning brand new, I want you to skip the bullseye. Okay, the third one, yeah, and Caroline, there's nothing wrong with going back to basics at all. There's nothing wrong with pretending like you're brand new too. Okay, then the third one over, hold on, is the chef's hat. So that's the third one over. That's the one I was fussing about earlier. There's nothing wrong with the chef's hat other than it took the place of my beloved Discover tab. So the chef's hat, which is the third icon at the bottom, if you touch that one, it's going to take you, it's the fastest and easiest way to find a recipe. So touching the chef's hat, you can go to My Recipes. You can find recipes that are saved. You can find recipes that are created by you. You can create a recipe. And there are lots of other recipes and groups of recipes here. So I think if you're brand new, that's going to be a great place to go. I think that chef's hat is going to be a great one for you to check out. And then connect is the last icon at the bottom. I'm going to say that's another one that you need to either use cautiously in the beginning or skip it maybe for the first week or two. Connect literally has a plethora of information. I mean, too much sometimes and overwhelming information. So it has a lot of support, a lot of information, but it can be a little overwhelming your first week or when you're just coming back. So I want you to save the Connect icon, kind of save it in your tool belt for like week 2 or for when you're feeling brave enough to ask a question in the community. So maybe the first week, don't jump right into that one because it can be overwhelming. And then the last one on your app that I think is so powerful is the barcode scanner. So the barcode scanner, find it, use it. That is the most powerful, that's one of the most powerful tools in this arsenal, okay? I think the barcode scanner is incredibly important. Okay, number 2. Let's just make sure I'm doing good on time here. So number 2 is to check out the 0-point food categories. Okay, please notice that I did not say memorize the entire 0-point foods list. Okay, it's a long list. There are over 200 items. Week 1, if it's your first week, or if you're coming back, week 1, I want you to focus on familiarizing yourself with the categories. You can expand on the total list later. So again, from your app, if you'll go to the 3 icons, the 3 lines in the upper left-hand corner, and then scroll down a little bit, there's one that says 0-point food list, and I can't see it from backwards, but anyway, it says 0-point foods list, or 0-point foods, and when you click on that, it's going to show you these main categories. So the main categories are non-starchy veggies, fruits, see if I can do it backwards, apparently not, proteins, and grains. So I just want you to be familiar with, those big picture categories. If you want to dive down into one like proteins, you can go to these groups of things. Like under proteins, we've got beans, peas, and lentils, eggs, fish and shellfish, poultry, tofu and tempeh, and yogurt and cottage cheese. So I just want you to, just kind of get familiar with those, again, big picture categories. Don't try to go memorize all 200. It's overwhelming. So even if you've done Weight Watchers before and you're just returning, just the big picture. We're just doing big picture this first week. Okay, or if you're just getting back to basics. Okay, number 3, I want you to find one recipe. Just one, not 2, not 3, not 12. One, and you can find a recipe under that little chef's hat that we talked about a few minutes ago. So I'm here, I can go back. If I can see what I was doing. I can go back. Remember that one, the little calendar, that's your day. So that's kind of your landing page. If you get lost or get confused, you can go there. The little chef's hat is right here. And if you touch the chef's hat, you can find a recipe there. You can find that under, so we talked about that in topic number 1. I don't want you to let me find you though scrolling through this for like an hour, okay? So I don't want to find out that an hour later you're still scrolling through and you haven't actually picked anything, okay? Don't overwhelm yourself. This is week 1 or getting back to basics or whatever. This is not the time to overwhelm yourself. So maybe just scroll down to that first category, which is starter recipes. And if you touch on starter recipes, there's going to be a whole lot of things. You can tell how many points they are. The points are here in that little blue dot. That's how many points it's going to be. And then when you touch on that, it's going to give you a recipe, and you can track the recipe if you want to. You can save it. To save the recipe, you just go right here to save. And if you make this recipe, then you can go to track. I promise you'll get the hang of it. I promise that you will get the hang of making your own recipes. That will come with some time. You can import recipes from other websites and from other people if they share them, and you will in time figure out how to adjust the ingredients and the servings. But for right now, I want you to find just one recipe. So if this is week 1, or if you're restarting, jump starting, if you're getting back to basics, I want you to find just that one recipe. Try it out. You can do this, okay? Okay. While we're talking about those recipes, I do want to show you that under that chef's hat, again, I don't want you to spend an hour doing this, but under that chef's hat, you've got a couple of choices. One is going to be saved recipes. So week 1, you're not going to have any saved recipes, probably. But if you save a recipe from somebody else's website, or if somebody shares a recipe with you and you save that, this is where you're going to have to go until you've actually tracked it. That's where you're going to have to go to find it. So I had somebody having trouble finding a recipe that they had saved from my website, from www.IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. They were having trouble finding it. Until you've tracked it that first time, you have to go to saved. So you have to go to the chef's hat, then you have to go to my recipes and touch saved, and then from there you can search. So I'm going to search tuna, because I went ahead and saved a recipe from Pound Dropper just to show her how to do this. And then once you've done that, you can go there, you can make the recipe if you want to, you can try that one. That one's got an awful lot of ingredients for week 1, so maybe not that one this week. But until you track it, you have to go to saved. So I just wanted to point that out. Also in these, you can go to created by you. That's going to come later, okay? Or create a recipe. Unless you're just really getting the hang of this, don't try to create a recipe the first week. Okay, as you're scrolling through these, I wanted to point out there is one that says easy weeknight dinners. That might be a good one to start with. Or this one. I get a lot of questions about about quick and easy meals for one person. Look, there's a recipe category for quick and easy meals for one. So these are all going to be things that it's going to be one serving. How easy is that? So if you don't want to make a recipe that the rest of your family is going to go, what is that? Why are we doing Weight Watchers? Why do we all have to eat with you, Mom or Dad or whoever? Maybe that would be a good one. Okay, so that is making a recipe. So that's number 3. Find one recipe, just one, not 2, not 3, not 12. Okay, number 4, I want you to go watch chat number 295. Okay, so if you go to www.ifyouhaveanegg.com, you can search and find, you can just type in 295 and you'll find that one. Or if you are on YouTube, and if you go to youtube.com, search If You Have an Egg, that should be the first one that pops up. I mean, it should be like in the top of it. It's like a feature. It's like a featured chat or a featured video. So that is chat number 295, and I'm serious. It's going to tell you what you need. You know, when you're ready, it's going to tell you everything you need when you're really, really ready to kind of deep dive into this. So don't worry if that's not today. So if today's your first day, or even still your first week, whatever. Don't worry if that's not today. You'll get there, and already having this chat kind of in your tool belt. Again, you need to keep some things in your tool belt. So having that in your tool belt will help, and I will post the link to that when Jessica posts this chat, and when Jessica posts the chat, the written notes for the chat on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com, that link will be posted there. When Casey posts this to YouTube, probably tomorrow, then the link will be there also. Okay. The last one is not the least one, okay? So number 5, stock up on these pantry essentials. So you will develop your own list of staples as time goes on. But in the beginning, you're like, what do I even get? What do I even put in my refrigerator or have in my pantry, or whatever? So some of you, this is going to be my personal go-to list. So this is a list of things that I'm never without. I always have, okay? I always have it. So this is not inclusive of everything that I keep, but these are things that I always, and thank you very much, Orlando Debbie, for that. These are things, for posting that link to chat number 295. So these are things that I'm never without. I always have these in my pantry. There are some veterans on here, so you new people, pay attention, because there are some veterans on here live on the chat. I want y'all to start shouting out some of your staples, things that you would keep in your pantry, your refrigerator, your freezer, something like that. This is my personal list. And again, this is not everything. These are just things that I'm never, ever, ever without. The first one is eggs. Okay, I don't know what's happening around the rest of the country, but I'm seeing pictures. Oh, did Dusty move, Debbie? I didn't even see him. I'm seeing pictures of people putting 3 eggs in a bag and saying that it's $5, that it's like a nickel bag or whatever. That is not happening yet here in Knoxville. At least I haven't seen it yet. Here in Knoxville, eggs are still even free range, fresh from the chicken tushy, you know, whatever egg. Those are still $5 and something, you know, for a whole dozen here. I did see Julie say that Aldi near her, and she's in California, that a dozen eggs at Aldi. So Aldi used to kick off their opening, like when they had their grand opening. I think eggs were either 89 or 99 cents. I can't remember how much when they would open a new store around the country. $5.99. Still though, if you can afford them, if you can afford eggs. So that's something that I always keep stocked. I always keep either chicken or turkey breast. It doesn't matter what form it's in. You could get already made frozen strips or chunks as long as they don't have any, you know, added points. You can keep it fresh. You can get it frozen, but chicken breast or turkey breast is a good thing. I think is a good thing to keep on hand. I always have low point tortillas. Yeah, Barbara says fresh fruit. I always have low point tortillas because you can make just about anything with a low point tortilla. You could make a sandwich. You can make a roll up. You can make something sweet. You know, you can make just about anything. I always keep, oh yeah, Sylvia says fat-free refried beans and Olay Extreme tortillas. See, I'm telling you, if you're here with us live, pay attention. And Sandra, yep, I'm getting ready to say that one too. But pay attention. And if you are not here with us live, you're just going to have to go back and watch this so that you can get the comments. Okay, so another thing I always keep is non-fat plain. I keep non-fat plain Greek yogurt just because I can make so many other things out of it. But non-fat plain yogurt, you know, any style, you know, in any way. And Haley always keeps zucchini. Yeah, Barbara always keeps plain Greek yogurt. Sylvia always keeps almond milk. That's a great one to add to your list. But I always have that. I always keep already chopped and ready to go so that you can just grab it and go. They're already washed. It's already chopped, you know, whatever. 0 point vegetables, but you got to keep them in a clear container so that you can see them, okay? So if you prep and wash vegetables and have them ready to go, and you can't find them in the refrigerator, they're no good to anybody. So things like tiny tomatoes, carrots, cucumbers, things like that, already prepped, washed, and ready to go. Easy to take with you sturdy fruit like bananas or clementines. Bananas, not so much in your purse unless you're planning on eating them pretty quickly, you know. Clementines, apples, something, you know, something more sturdy like that, just so that you can always have it with you. And in case I go #purse check, then you'll know, and you can dig in your purse and say, I have it. Don't worry. Okay, light string cheese. I cannot go on enough about light string cheese. It's sturdy enough. You could actually carry it in your purse. You know, it stays good, you know, for a little while. I mean, I wouldn't want to keep it in there all day long, but you don't necessarily have to keep it in the refrigerator. So either light string cheese or some of those light Baby Bell cheeses, you know, something like that. That with an apple or a clementine or whatever makes a super fast and easy if you just have to have something, you know, right then. I always keep the refrigerator here, which is getting ready to be somewhere else, and at home. I always have either light string cheese or light Baby Bells in there, just because it just makes a great, you know, I don't know, it just makes a great even a meal. Sandra says almonds. Let's see, Barbara says apples, that's perfect. Joanna says tuna and Olay tortillas for a quick lunch or dinner, perfect. Barbara says a snack size package of nuts, that's a great one. Oh, okay, and Caroline says, what? How much would that be in euros? We only pay €3 for eggs there in Ireland. Don't know what the current euro ratio is, so I'm really not sure how much to tell you. Oh, Debbie says home canned meat, chicken breast especially, mini cukes, good, and gather ranch dressing. I haven't seen that one. And Sylvia loves Laughing Cow spicy cheese. Ooh, Sandra, good one. Skinny popcorn. That's a good one. I should have had that one on my list. Okay. Next thing I always keep is unsweetened applesauce cups. I have them everywhere. So I have them in my purse. I have them in my backpack. I have them everywhere because if you just have to have something, and because even though they're unsweetened, they're a little bit sweet, I keep those everywhere. It's a fantastic thing to keep with you, and they do not have to be refrigerated. Salsa or pico. I almost always have either salsa or pico in the refrigerator. or when people have made me some, canned salsa or pico, because it can just take a salad and kick it up a notch. It can take chicken and kick it up a notch. It can take tuna or some kind of fish and kick it up a notch. I think pico or salsa are great things to have on hand. No sugar added though. Try to get something that's 0 points. Tuna packs. Somebody already mentioned. Yep, and Sandra says me too on the sugar-free applesauce. Somebody already mentioned tuna packs. I think those are a great thing to have. Again, you can keep them in your purse. You can keep them in your car. They don't have to be refrigerated. They last for a long time. I mean, the expiration date on them is like way far out. I had bought a whole bunch of them during COVID, and I finally went through the last of them, and I was like, dang, these are still in date. And they were like not 2 years old, but they were not new, but they were still in date. Debbie says the guacamole in the little single serve cups, she keeps those in her freezer. I started doing that after you mentioned that, Debbie. I think that's a great idea. Yep, and Loretta loves tuna on a wrap. Cans of pinto beans, chickpeas, black beans, refried beans. Sylvia mentioned refried beans earlier. I mean, just keeping a can of some kind of beans, lots of kinds of beans. I probably at any given moment have, 10 to 12 cans of some kind of beans in my pantry, just because you can do so much with them. So if you have the fat-free refried beans, you can put that on your tortilla. Joanna says black beans. Loretta says all that in a salad. Yeah, so not this necessarily in a salad, but you could make like a little taco something. Chickpeas, you can put that. Those are fantastic in a salad if you haven't ever had those. But I always have pinto beans, chickpeas, black beans, some kind of fat-free refried beans. I always have beans on hand in my pantry. Yeah, Joanna says easy bean burritos again with the Olay tortilla. Perfect. Pre-made salad mix. I keep a pre-made salad mix. Like there are 2 in the refrigerator here that will be going with me. I usually have one at home, and you don't have to use the salad dressing that comes with it. I don't mind having, when Haley keeps oats all the time, I don't mind having a little bit of extra points, especially if I'm going to put, some of these other already chopped up, already ready 0 point veggies and put those in there. Ooh, and Carol Lou says beets in her salad. Yeah, that sounds fantastic. And hominy. I've not had hominy in forever. And Joni says yes on garbanzo beans. But I always have a pre-made salad mix, and I always have some kind of light salad dressing. I actually usually have too many kinds of light salad dressing. Okay, usually have too many. Okay, and let's see. And Sandra says she loves doing hashtag bulk it up on her salad. I know you didn't say hashtag bulk it up, but I just popped that in there for you. Let's see. Debbie says if you're storing it for one, so if you just have one person to cook for, put refried beans in silicone cups to freeze for later, and then pop them out and put them in a Ziploc bag. Perfect. Great to know. And Barbara always keeps avocado. Okay, so pre-made salad mix and light salad dressing. Those are 2 things I always have in my refrigerator. The next one is frozen veggies. So like, thanks Kim, talk to you later. So things like broccoli, corn, cauliflower, some kind of mixed, veggies, whatever. I always have at least a bag or 2 of some kind of frozen veggies in the freezer, obviously because they're frozen. Small bags of lower point microwave popcorn. So instead of doing air pop popcorn, this is your first week. So if this is your first week and you're trying to stock up your pantry, you're going to need a couple of treats that you don't have to work for, okay? Because remember, effort was one of the things that, one of the reasons that people don't track is if there's too much effort. So if you're trying to figure out how to make air pop popcorn and season it and track it, one of those things may or may not happen. Remember, this is week 1. You're either brand new, you're returning, or, you're kind of kickstarting, or, starting fresh again, getting back to basics, whatever. So there's nothing wrong with getting some lower point small, and I had one sitting here, and so some lower point small bags of popcorn, and keeping those. There's nothing wrong with that, and it's quick and it's easy and it's a satisfying snack. I always have some of those. A snacky something like either veggie straws or some other kind of lower point crunchy food, but in single serve bags. So I try to keep some of those around. Not like a big bag of veggie straws becomes an empty bag of veggie straws if I have those, okay? A little bag of veggie straws also becomes an empty bag of veggie straws, but that was only 4 or 5 points, okay? That wasn't however many is in a giant bag. So I always try to keep some of those on hand. Low point sandwich meat, almost 100% of the time have some kind of low point sandwich meat, because like the other night, I came flying. Remember, we had like a couple of days to decide if we're staying here or leaving, and we decided to leave. So the other night, I went flying in after having been here for meeting, trying to decide what to do. And I just took turkey. I just took low point turkey sandwich meat, wrapped it around some of my light string cheese, had that and an apple. Perfect. It was perfect, and I didn't have to cook anything. Flavored 0-calorie water or other beverages like that. Again, sometimes you just need something simple, but you need something delicious, whatever. So I'm high in favor of a flavored 0-calorie water or some other kind of beverage like that. And I'm loving your all suggestions. There are more things that are on my list, but we only have like 3 minutes left. So I'm going to wind down and just kind of again say thank you all for sharing this space with us for the last couple of years. I can't wait to show you the new space in progress next week. If you're brand new with Weight Watchers, or if you're returning after a little while, or if you're just trying to get back to basics, I hope that you will go to IfYouHaveAnEgg.com here in the next couple of days. You will be able to print this list. You'll be able to print my pantry list. I highly encourage you to go back and listen. Oh yeah, olive oil, Barbara. Yeah, perfect. That's another staple. But I highly suggest you go back and kind of listen to this chat. Here's some of the other suggestions for from some veteran Weight Watchers. Go ahead and start working on your list. Just keep it simple, okay? Keep it as simple as you can in the beginning. So if you've got some suggestions, please keep commenting. Y'all can comment even after the live is over. If you're watching this on YouTube, again, it's just youtube.com. Search If You Have an Egg. You can go ahead and be adding your things. Yeah, and Haley, so next week is going to be a hot mess since it'll be, in the middle of moving. But I cannot wait to get there, and I'm already feeling really good. I'm already feeling really good about the downsizing. So sometimes being smaller is a blessing. Okay. So thank you all again. Thanks for sharing this space with us. Say goodbye to it. Bye. Because you're not ever going to see it again unless you go back and watch another chat. But everybody have a great week. If you are watching this on YouTube, I hope you'll go ahead and let that next, since the Mevo is not working, I'm in a tight screen here. I hope you'll let that next video go ahead and roll over. I promise you'll like it. And then go ahead and hit that subscribe button down there, and don't forget to check the little bell so that you know when our next video is posted. But hopefully the Mevo will be in a better mood next week. It knew something was going on. It knew that this was its last time in this location, and it just decided not to cooperate tonight. But everybody have a great week. Thank you so much for being here, and I can't wait to see you next week. Good night.